Hey, welcome back to Queerful Consideration. I'm your host, JT. In the room also are Chandra and Indy right now. Indy's in a very good move. And in our queue with us are a few people we may recognize from the 8-4s. The Utah Red, maybe it's Utah. Well, I don't know, where I grew up, that would probably be what it was. And Yumi in Iowa was in a queue with us the other night. So welcome back to MTG Online, Yumi in Iowa. Ohio. No, I think it's actually Iowa. I'm reading it right now. But yeah, we've been on a bit of a rough streak here with the with Magic Origins. I'm just feeling like the set does not have much removal at all in it, and it's a set where I want interactivity, I want removal, but I may be better served just going for combat tricks and creatures. If I can, look, if I see removal, you have to draft it very, very aggressively. But ultimately, the quality of your creatures, while important, it seems like it's more important just to have the creatures and the tricks that'll force them through. So like Leaf Gilder. Leaf Gilder is fine and definitely can ramp you into some higher quality stuff. Foundry of the Consoles is advantage, and so if this was like M14, I would definitely take the Foundry. It's great value, right? Elvish Visionary it's good if you're trying to get to your bombs and close out the game with a bomb. I'm almost tempted to Fiery Conclusion here, though. That being said, a Crowan Sergeant is good. Crowan Sergeant is good. It's exactly where you want to go just to get started off fast. It's between that and the Fiery Conclusion. You know, I'm going to take the Conclusion. Removal is so important in this format. And while the Crowan Sergeant is a good, solid creature, this isn't Return to Ravnica, where you just have to get your solid base of 2-drops and 3-drops. So here, in Pack 2, we have, again, a kind of quintessential M14 card, the Possess Scab. And when you can go off with this guy, you can really go off with this guy. It's pretty impressive. That being said, we have 2 more removal spells here. Swift Reckoning and Unholy Hunger. Now, Unholy Hunger puts you into that red-black deck. It's also... White also has a better 1-mana combat trick and Enshrouding Mist than Black's Touch of Moonglove. But Swift Reckoning, Unholy Hunger, Wild Instincts, which one of these things do we want to have? Well... Swift Reckoning protects you, but it doesn't necessarily help you get your guys through. Unholy Hunger kills literal anything, but it's a very expensive instant speed destruction. Wild Instincts is... You know what, I'm going to go into the black-red here. I just think it's a better card combination. Wild Instincts is great at forcing through damage, and immediately regretful. What is this Undercity Troll doing here? There's also a Boggart Brute, another Unholy Hunger, a Cobble Brute, a Farka's Disciple, which I like a lot better than a lot of people do. Man, that Undercity Troll, though. If I just want to go mono removal, Unholy Hunger is still an option here. Undercity Troll, though, goes into just about anything. I'm going to take it just in case we end up there, because I could still splash like a Fiery Conclusion. Active Treason does go with our Fiery Conclusion. Goldforge Sentinels goes in any deck. But here the Rocks Maulers are just probably the best card in the pack. When I compare it to the Prickle Boar, it's better. When I compare it to all this other stuff, man. I mean, the Prickle Boar is fine. Don't get me wrong. Prickle Boar is fine. And... the thing is, though, I think Rocks Maulers plus Undercity Troll is slightly better than Prickle Boar plus Fiery Conclusion, so I'm going to take that. And still, we have no idea what colors we're going to end up here. We're just taking removal very highly and taking super high-quality creatures. Now, green-blue, getting this Krasis coming around is interesting. And I like green-blue as an archetype. I like the bounce, aggro, tempo. It's kind of key to this format, and I think people haven't really gotten that yet. But, that being said, I think probably the best card here is Magmatic Insight. So I'm going to pick it up. The Active Treasons are interesting, and if they keep coming around, we've got to really think about it. Fleshbag Marauder is better than it looks, and I'm going to take it. The Dragon Fodder is also really interesting to me. It makes the Fiery Conclusion much better, makes any Nantuko Husks better, but the Marauder is just a solid creature. So we're evenly split in our red, black, green deck here. Here, this is a very weak pack. The best card is absolutely Necromantic Summons, and I'll absolutely put it in my deck. However, I really don't know where that's going to go. It's starting to feel more to me like a black-blue control-y deck. Weight of the Underworld gets in. Catacombs. The Guardian Automaton's perfectly fine in a deck like this. Blight Assassin or Possess Scum. The Assassin's a fine 3-drop. And I've got a lot of 5s already, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Assassin. Night Snare is Thoughtseize or Mind Rot. Go ahead and take a Guardians. None of this is particularly what I want. So I think the best things we saw were black. We didn't end up seeing a lot of good red after we started, which means we could see some really good red here in pack 2. Undercity Troll, Rock Maulers were both very early picks. Active Treason coming back around is actually a really good sign. Dark Dabbling is actually a real card. I got shocked by it the other day. Regenerate every creature and draw a card. Okay. Wingmare, Thopter Engineer, Sergeant, Fiery Impulse, Nantuko Husk. Well, I'm going to take the Impulse here. The Nantuko Husk could also be quite good, as could either of these 3-drops. I'm hoping one of these 3 red-black 3-drops comes back around, but I'm not going to get any more chances at the Fiery Impulse, so I'm totally going to take it. Hoping Freeblade, probably just the best card in the pack, although Claustrophobia is also good. Displacement Wave is pretty sweet. And then everything falls off after that. The Subterranean Scout, probably the best thing. Active Treason is probably going to lap. The Might of the Masses is very good if I was going to end up in green, but I don't think I'm going to end up in green. Priest, the Bloodright. Man, it's a 5-drop again. And it's in the same pack with an Nantuko Husk, but that's a bomb 5-drop. This thing coming in, leaving behind a 5/5. Oh, it's so good. Unholy Hunger, another 5-mana removal spell, or Malakir Cullblade. I actually like the Cullblade a lot. I'm a big fan of that card. I don't have a ton of ways to kill stuff my opponent controls, but it's that or another 5-mana removal spell. I don't know, maybe I will take the 5-mana removal spell. The thing is, the Cullblade does work, man. Rune Servitor is a great 2-drop. The Fetid Imp is also a perfect 2-drop for what I want to do here, and I think the Fetid Imp is the card I need to take. I'm hoping one of those waltzes comes back around. Deadbridge Shaman is also perfect. Unholy Hunger, man. I gotta take another Hunger. It's just too good. Getting the Rock Mauler and the Undercity Troll out of here. This is interesting. So when I look at my removal, I've got 2 of these Hungers. Away to the Underworld. That. Now, Active Treason does it strictly active removal until I get a sacrifice outlet, but you know, I got outs to sacrifice outlets. This thing brings back something I've destroyed, which is pretty sweet. Infernal Scarring isn't bad. The Mage Ring Bully isn't awful, given where I'm at with this deck. Question is, do I want a Mage Ring Bully or a Return Centaur? I think I want a Return Centaur. It just does a better job of blocking things, and I do want to kind of clog this thing up. Definitely going to be running 17, if not 18 lands here. Dark Petition is fine. Consecrate by Blood does give me a suck outlet, but geez, 2 at a time? It's pretty tough. Let's take a Dark Petition. Let me search for a card and give me a... I mean, I'm just packed to the gills on 5-drop sorceries here. Yeah, search for a card, get a Dark Ritual. Seems good. Fetid Imp over the Guardians here. They're both good, but I'll take the Fetid Imp over the Guardians. And now I really want a Macabre Waltz. Really, really. Alright, here we have another Return Centaur, an Active Treason, a Bellows Lizard. I think the Return Centaur is better for me. Touch of Moonglove is not the end of the world either, but I only have 10 creatures. So I want to put another one in my deck. Dabbling, Touch of Moonglove, Bellows Lizard deck. Touch of Moonglove. I like having 1. It probably is going to go in the sideboard, but the fact that none of those Nantuko husks came back around worries me. And the fact that Black-Red is also a popular deck to draft. Macabre Waltz, exactly what I wanted to see come back around. Smash with the sideboard. So we have ourselves a deck here, but when I look at what I really want to play out of it, so my finishers are the summons for something great out of his graveyard, out of opponent's graveyard. Pia and Kira Nalar. Well, let's see here, folks. Yeah, not much. However, good in the deck, right? I mean, versus a Goblin Glory Chaser, Foundry, Fetid Imp. It's good in the deck. It's a double red, but Outland Colossus, my god. Acolyte of the Inferno is quite good. The Shambling Ghoul is not bad. The Lightning Javelin is removal, and it's better removal than the Way to the Underworld. That being said, I need better 3-drops, so I'm going to take this one. Dragon Fodder versus another Unholy Hunger. Dragon Fodder versus another Unholy Hunger. I think I'm going to go with the Unholy Hunger. I like... So here's the thing. I like Dragon Fodder, but I don't have the stuff to sack to it that makes it really great. Unholy Hunger just does work. Boggart Brute, Call the Full Moon, Eyeblight Assassin. Boggart Brute is good. It's at its best in decks where it's actively supported by other attacking creatures. Call the Full Moon can turn my Fetid Imp, or really anything, into a serious threat. Yeah. I think I will take the call. It's just got a lot of strength, a lot of upside. Since I don't have any of the synergies with the Act of Treason, I'm just going to cut it off. Evolving Wilds helps fix my mana. Wild Instincts would be an interesting splash, but I'm going to take the Evolving Wilds just to help my mana be a little bit better. Bloodsucker's terrible. Construct's not great. Tutelage is... none of this is particularly good. And I don't need another 5-drop in my deck, so I'll just hack a Tutelage. Sorry guys, I just took your win condition. Way to the underworld. Cobra Waltz. I'm going to be doing a lot of trading off, and I think being able to get that stuff back is going to be pretty important. Definitely going to be running 17 lands in this deck, so I need to cut one so far, and I think that needs to be a spell. I'm tempted by Macabre Insight. I'm also tempted by, or Magmatic Insight and Macabre Waltz. I think I'm going to put the Insight over in the board. Ugh. Fire Fiend Elemental's fine. Titan Strength is good. I actually do want a combat trick, so I'll put that over there. Is Fire Fiend better than a Return Centaur? I think probably so. Rambler is a fine finisher on the high end. Smash to Smithereens is good, but I like having a high end finisher. I think Necromantic Summons, well, jeez, I don't know. So much going on in this deck. Gonna be a tough build. I think Dark Petition can probably hit the bricks. It's cool, but it's a 5-mana card that just gets me another card that I want to get to. Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to dig out my Priest or Pia and Kira Nalar, but pretty cool. Subterranean Scout's a fine addition. Gonna be tough to build this, guys. Tough to build it. I don't think I am aggressive enough for Call of the Full Moon to be strictly good. And when I look at Weight of the Underworld, I'm pretty underwhelmed. Weight of the Underwhelmed. Magmatic Insight, Cobble Brute. I'll Cobble Brute here. Eyeblight Assassin is a perfectly good 3-drop, and I'm actually going to run that over the Guardians. At least to start. Thornbow Archer is fine, not going to get run. So many 5-drop sorceries. Well, once I hit 5 mana, I'm in a pretty good spot, huh? That might be an argument to take the Cold Blade out and take the Eyeblight Assassin out in exchange for the Guardians of Melodus, and just say I'm going to go full wall control, kill everything the opponent puts out, and then work my way into the late game. The issue with that is that I don't have any Reave Souls. My only early removal is Fiery Impulse, Fiery Conclusion, Way to the Underworld eventually, and then my 5-mana, my 3 5-mana removal spells. So I don't think that's enough. Excuse me. I don't think that's enough to strictly play a control strategy here. I'm not sacrificed, so Active Treason doesn't do it. Chandra's Fury might be a good finisher. Just Lava Axe is never bad. Yeah. I don't know. Flashback Marauder is also fine as in terms of an edict. You just have to think of this as a straight edict. It's not really anything else. Oh, Magic Online seems to have given up the ghost. Where are you at, Magic Online? Aha, thank you. Alright, we're back with Magic Online now, so let's go ahead and put the things in the deck that I really want to play with. Alright, now we're back. I've put the stuff into the deck here. Guardians are also good. So, when I look at this, 10 seems like a lot of non-creature spells. Dark Dabbling I threw in there just because I think it can be a hell of a blowout. I like the fact that it just replaces itself, and you know, if I do end up running heavy on the non-creature spells, man, that thing could be a blowout. Regenerate all of your creatures. And still have enough mana left to turn these guys into Death Touchers. I mean, does some good work. By the way, that guy is disgusting looking, and he's so cool. I heart that creature. Subterranean Scout is simply a 2-drop that does some blocking. I'm not sure that I need 3 of them. Guardian Automaton definitely gains me life and puts me back in the game, but I don't think it's as strong as, say, a Cobble Brute. Ultimately, I'm running a balance of Cobble Brute and Return Centaur here. If I find myself against another controlling deck, I may want to put the Cobble Brute in instead, just because it does a good job of racking up tons of damage when I clear out a few creatures. If I'm playing against a more aggressive deck, I'll definitely swap it out for Return Centaur. Fire Fiend Elemental is one of those where it's like, not sure. The Guardian Automaton may be strictly better, just because of its life gain. But I'm going to run with it for right now. I still need to cut 2 cards. Yeah, I think the Dark Dabbling does need to go. It's just not quite strong enough. And frankly, the Weight of the Underworld feels pretty bad, man. Now it does fill this hole of things to do between 1 mana and between 2 mana and 5 mana. But you know what? I think I'd rather build my board presence out during those turns and then get to the business of killing somebody. So I'm going to put in Evolving Wilds. I'm going to sort by color. Group it. Combine these groups. Yeah, need a lot of black. 10-7. Maybe 9-7, because then I've got 10-8. 10-8 seems pretty good. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and submit this deck, and I will see you fine people in round 1.